Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. It is the international break, and we are back. It feels like it's been a while, and this is going to be a cracking show. How we doing, Paul? You all right?
Yeah, international break's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, it's boring. It is boring, to be fair. And our guest, to be fair, which I will introduce in a minute, does like his international football because he follows his international team pretty hardcore. So for him, he probably really likes it. But for us, with England, I'm not that interested, to be fair. And I don't know why. Sometimes I used to have patches of being interested in England, but I'm not that interested in them now. But yes, Paul, should we? This is the show that we've been lining up on Armando Broja. Excited for this one?
He's in the background. He's lots of sort of good things about him have been said. We just haven't seen anything yet, and maybe he's sort of not had the opportunities that maybe he deserves, in the last couple of seasons. So we need to know him a little bit better, and what better way than get someone who knows all about him.
Yeah, we've got some cracking stuff coming up on the show, so stay with us. If you want to know about Armando Broja, we have done everything we can to give you a good show on him, to get all the info that we can. We've gone to a Chelsea fan. We've gone to his international. We've done everything, haven't we, Paul? And this should be a good show to give you everything you need to know about Armando Broja, because he's on the grass. He is on the grass, isn't he, Paul? If I'm right, I think they did say he's on the grass.
He's on the grass. His last injury was not as long as first expected. But you know what Sean's like. He's got to have full match fitness before he can even get close to the hallowed turf of Goodison Park. So he's nearly there, we hope.
He's getting close. We never know how far the grass is, but the grass is definitely... The next step is probably under 21s and in the team. Right, let's get this guest on. It's Redian. I tell you something. Happy to have him on. Excited for this.
Hello there.
He is in the house, Redian. How you doing? You all right?
I'm very good. How about you?
Yeah, we are good. And happy to have you on, to be fair, because I don't know how Paul feels, but Broja, I've always known of him, but have I watched him all the time? No. Do I know much about his injury stuff? Paul probably knows more than me. I don't know. So I think when we've got a player that's on the grass and it is close to coming in the Everton team, we need to start learning about this player. So that's why we are dropping this show. And you do like him, you do follow him pretty hardcore, don't you, Redian?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you can see I'm wearing his shirt also. It has Broja on the back. So I'll follow him everywhere, and I don't really care where and when. I just need to watch my Armando Broja. I think the most people of who support English teams in the Premier League are of the same kind like you. They know him, they know he exists, but they don't really know the ins and outs about him. So I think it's good that we can talk a little bit more about what kind of player he is exactly.
Yeah, I think that as well. So what I'm going to start off by doing, people, get involved in the comments, because we do want to hear what you think on him as well in the comments. By the way, this is an open channel, so if you don't rate him, you can still say. If we've got people that don't rate the player, I want to see your comments. If we've got people that really are excited about him, I want to see your comments. We want to just get everything in the open on this player. The Chelsea fan, so I'm going to get him in the house. He did me a video. Simon, we have him on the show. So let's listen to what he's got to say on the player. And then you can give your thoughts after, Redian. See what he says.
Well,
here we go.
Forgive the voice and appearance. I've got stinking cold. Man flu, if you like. So, Armando Broja, obviously a product of Chelsea's incredible academy. Don't know if you're aware, but he played in a treble-winning side at youth level. I think it was 2017-18. And he played in the same side as Reece James, Trevor Chalobah, Martin Guay, Mason Mount, Callum Hudson-Odoi. So he has played at a very high level at a young age. He joined Vitesse on loan in 2021 and was their joint top scorer for the season. Southampton, a season-long loan there. But I think what really changed his career was in 22-23 when, during a pointless friendly against Aston Villa when the World Cup was on, he got a bad knee injury. And for me, he was never the same player again. Just lost a slight bit of edge. I think also now Chelsea in their current guise, in their current incarnation, play in a different way to his strengths. I don't think he'll ever wear a Chelsea shirt again. I was going to say blue shirt, but clearly he is. And that's not putting any slight on his ability at all. It's just that I feel his strengths aren't those that match the current Chelsea side. Never had a bad word to say about the club. Fans will never have a bad word to say about him. I just think that injury just took the edge off his potential. One little boring fact, and I've only got 2 minutes, it can't be a bit of trivia, is he actually made his debut against Everton in that last game before COVID on the 8th of March 2020. This game that you probably won't remember, but there we go. There's a little stat to end it all. Cheers, guys.
So there it is, Simon Kirby. Interesting to see what you've got to say back on that. What did you think on what he said?
To be honest, I think he came with a lot of good, interesting points, and I agree with most of what he says. He was very, very good when he played at Cobham, and at almost every single level he performed at the youth teams. He also, I would like to add, he also performed very well for the Albanian youth teams during that period. So he's always been a player of high potential and with really good quality. And Vitesse, yes, he didn't exactly light up the place, but he was very good. And at Southampton, he only got 6 goals in the league, people might say, but he actually had some really, really good performances, dribbling and creating and doing everything that you could expect of a guy of his potential. I think the thing about the injury, because that's like the elephant in the room. Yes, it was a big injury. It took him like a year to come back onto the pitch, and you could see in him that he didn't really trust his body when he returned. And that's what I think he means about losing that edge that he has lost, because you could clearly see he wasn't the same beast, because he used to be a guy who would press you relentlessly. He would simply never stop running, never stop sprinting. And when he returned from injury, you could see like he was a bit more calmed down, and it certainly isn't good on a football pitch to not be fired up. But I do think it's not something that has hindered his potential, because I was in Sweden a couple of months ago to watch him for Albania, Sweden, and I was also in Germany to watch the Albanian national team games. I watched him up front, and I could see he was quite clearly back. You could clearly see he was really fired up. He was motivated. He wanted to give it all, and I saw some sprints from him, which was reminiscent of the old Broja. So I think we will see a good version of him again.
No, I was just going to say, do you know on the injury? First of all, what injury was it? Because I don't even know what injury it was. He said, obviously on the video, he said his knee.
Yeah, ACL.
How long was he out for on the injury?
He was out for 10 months, I think, and then he came back, and then he had some slight problems against Fulham. I think he scored, and then he got subbed off. So it was like 11 and a half months in total.
It's a really interesting player, this, isn't it, Paul? Because under Lampard, we was linked to him for around, I could be wrong here, for around 40 million. There was the articles kept, you know what the transfer windows was like, and Lampard really wanted him. And I was up for it then as well, because I've always personally thought he's a decent striker. He looks like he's got that voom up front, doesn't he? That he looks like someone that isn't shy of scoring, that just will find goals. And Everton, we've been crying out for a striker that just gets himself goals, because sometimes as an Everton fan, for me, I feel like some of our strikers, you've had to put it on a plate for them, where the really good strikers just find goals when you don't even expect it. For example, when we had Lukaku, you just couldn't stop him from scoring. He could create himself goals. He would run up in the pitch and find himself goals. Like a shark in water with blood. Lukaku was he was a hunter for goals, Lukaku was. And at the minute, we've got Calvert-Lewin, who he's finding goals here and there, not all the time. Beto isn't really... I like the guy, but he isn't doing what we want him to do, is he, Paul? He ain't coming in and just banging goals. And so I think there's a big opportunity for Broja to come in and smash it. He does really excite me.
Yeah, certainly
Yeah.
so.
No, go on, Redian. You're okay.
No, I certainly think it's a good match. As the Chelsea fan also said, he doesn't really fit into Chelsea's style of play anymore. And I think it's very good for both him and the club that they try to move him on. And I think he fits much better at the Everton, who play counter-attacking football, like to hit people on the break. And I think that's where he actually excels, because, in my opinion, and maybe you can even find facts about this, he is one of, if not the fastest player in the world. So why not try and utilize that with some counter-attacking threat, with some goals like that? Very good at dribbling, very good at shooting the ball, and very good at doing exactly what Dan is wanting from his striker, at creating something out of nothing, instead of just being that poacher guy that some people might want. So I think he's gonna fit in well at Everton if he can stay free from injuries, and if he can get the opportunity and the consistency in the starting 11. I think we're gonna see a very good story unfolding here.
I mean,
some people. Let me just put this on him though, Paul. Some people did say that he's lost his speed. This is just on what you've just said about he's really fast, and I just like. I've done spaces sometimes on the X, and some people say, "Oh, he's not as fast now. He's lost his speed." What's your comeback on that? And then I'll chuck you on, Paul, after that. What's your comeback on that?
My comeback on it is when I saw him, like I said, when I saw him against Sweden, I saw him do like a 50-meter sprint where he left his guy like 30 meters behind him. So I saw the same speed, and I also saw it against Spain at the Euros. In my opinion, he completely has the same speed. I don't think he's lost a bit of pace at all. It's all about just trusting his body again and actually going full power every time he sprints. That's where people might think he has lost some speed, because he didn't really trust his own body. But I don't think he's lost any speed at all. No, not a chance.
Yeah. I'd sort of back you up a little bit as well in terms of the injury stuff, because I've got to admit, a lot of the Broja stuff that I know is from Redian. So anyone who doesn't follow Redian already, I'm just going to share his page on X, because if you want to know anything about Broja, Radian's your man.
Yeah.
So the page that I'm going to show you, this is Broja's injuries. A lot of people might say, "Oh, he's injury prone and everything else." You can see it now. Yeah. So you can see on there towards the top the cruciate ligament tear that he had, end of 2022. That's when he's out for a year nearly. Obviously 39 games and stuff like that. He had a little to do October, November last year where he had a bit of a knee problem. But apart from that, a cold where he missed one game for Fulham. Obviously didn't go well at Fulham, didn't get the opportunities. 8 appearances, no goals. But before that, before the tear, he had coronavirus twice. I mean, yeah, we all have. So, he was the same as the rest of us. He's not really had any other major injuries in his career so far. And the thing is that when you are out for a while, if you're not the top man at the club where you are, then it's hard to get back in there and change things.
Yeah, for sure. But I agree with you. You could clearly see on the statistics shown here, he's not injury prone at all. He's just had one bad problem, and then he had the knee problems, which were linked to the ACL he tore. And then he's had this Achilles tendon problem, which he picked up in preseason with Chelsea. Everything else is completely normal, like missing one game, fitness issues. It's not really something to be concerned about.
No, true.
Do you feel that I mean, we've took on a few risky players this season. Iliman Ndiaye was one. I mean, he didn't. He was when we spoke to the Sheffield United fans, they all said he is incredible. He's like Messi, this Iliman Ndiaye, and I could tell he was a good player. But then some people was massively like precautious with him because he really didn't play well at Marseille, so he didn't do well on that move. And I do believe this could be a bit of the same scenario with Broja, because he went to Fulham where they've got loads of strikers, and I don't personally think that was a good move. To be fair, Fulham. We know Fulham people, and they are sound. I'm just saying I don't think that was a good move for him when they already had strikers. So you can't really say much on that move, can you? Because Paul said 8 games, no goals, but I don't think it was a good move, was it?
No, like it was 8 games, but he didn't start any of those games. It was like 10-minute cameos here and there, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes if he was lucky. It was a disastrous loan move, I think. And it was also kind of a desperate one because Chelsea initially wanted to sell him for 50 million in January. Nobody offered it, of course, because he had just come back from injury and nobody wanted to take the risk. And so in the end, they just wanted to ship him on. And then he ended up at Fulham for like a loan fee of 4 million or something like that. He just didn't fit in. He didn't perform well in those minutes that he got, but I also can't blame him fully because it wasn't really the environment for him. So I think, yeah, of course, it's a bit of a risk. He's a young guy still. He's very raw. It's not like the refined package, but I think the risk is worth it in this case for Everton, 100%.
Yeah, I was just going to read a couple of the.
Yeah, go for it.
Jamie Wharton in the house.
Good lad, Jamie.
Just getting you all involved there in the comments. Get your comments coming in because we do like you. When we have a guest on, we do like your comments coming in. And this man knows everything about Broja. He's following him around the world. He knows more than anyone about him. So what a guest to have on if you want to know about this player. Gross. Was that better? Paul, was that a Gross? Is that how Sean Dice says it? He's on the Gross. He's on the Gross. So he'll be playing under 21s next week. Don't worry about it. I'll get good at that. Lulu says Dice probably smokes the grass with some of his decisions. Yes, he's got to impress us when he comes back after this international break.
Needs it.
Pauses it. Pauses in. That hurt my throat just doing that. I don't know how he does it all the time. Pauses in the house. Paul's in the house as well. Paul says once he's fit, it's goodbye to Beto.
Wow.
There is a lot of talks on Beto, teams being interested in the Italian leagues and stuff like that. It's crazy because the moment we got Beto, it feels like there's been more talk about him leaving than him actually playing well for Everton. So it's going to be interesting seeing what unfolds with the Beto situation. But like I say, there's definitely a big opportunity for this player. Do you feel like I feel like he needs to prove himself now. This is his big break, isn't it? Do you feel like that? Because a lot of people have turned the nose at him now, and I think his name has got, like I say, when we was first linked to Broja under Lampard, he's a £40 million player smashing goals in for Chelsea that looks like the striker that's the man. And then all of a sudden, like it's an injury, he went to Southampton, still scored goals, and then Fulham, that move was a bad move. So do you feel like he needs to shine now? Because if he doesn't do well at Everton, he could just get palmed off to someone else, and loses his name. Do you feel like this is a chance for him to put himself on the market for us or for someone else?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Like a couple of years ago, West Ham and also Everton were bidding 40-50 million pounds for him, and they got bids rejected, which means all 3 clubs at West Ham, Everton, and even Chelsea rated him even higher than that. So he was very highly rated, and then he got the injury. Now, after a disastrous loan at Fulham, in my opinion, it might sound a bit dramatic. It's like his last chance to prove himself, or else he's gonna get a reputation to his name, which is not gonna be very good. He's gonna be the guy who got an injury, was promising, but never lived up to his potential, and nobody wants that. So I think he absolutely has to grab this opportunity by the neck and hit the ground running at Everton, because I don't really see a better chance for him to do so. If he can manage to help Everton secure Premier League status again this season, and score a couple goals here and there, maybe score a bit in the cups, I think he's gonna finally return to have a good reputation, which he deserves.
No, I completely agree with you. I didn't want to say it, but I do feel
I mean,
like this is
the
like
whole
the
the
make or break.
Southampton thing obviously went well, didn't it?
And which one?
Yeah. I read some of your stuff, Radian, about what Southampton did in terms of playing two up front. Was that right? But in the end, he wasn't sort of getting the appearances.
Yeah. Like the first half of the season was magical, almost. You could say, like he was playing well against Manchester United at Old Trafford, against Liverpool at Anfield, playing well against West Ham, home and away, scoring not just scoring, but scoring like solo goals from 30 yards. He was doing everything at 19 years of age. And I think at one point he was the guy with the most right-footed goals in the Premier League, even beating Cristiano Ronaldo at the time. So like he had a really good start, but then they started trying to negotiate a transfer fee for him in the summer after they had secured their Premier League status. And I think Broja didn't want to move to Southampton, and Chelsea didn't want to sell him because he had obviously shown a lot of promise on his loan. And then he kind of got frozen out of the squad because they didn't need him anymore. They had survived, and he didn't want to stay there. So like there was no need to give him priority over someone who was actually going to stay at the club. So he had a really good like 6-7 months, but he also had a couple of months where it was just stagnated.
Yeah. Because I mean, I wondered. I sort of wondered because obviously Albania. I don't know where the ranking is, but they're obviously going to play lots of teams who are going to be favourites against them. So, his ability to try and get goals or chances or corners and with sort of feeding on scraps, really, he's kind of excelled at that. Is it a case where when he goes to a club who have got most of the possession, trying to break teams down, who are sort of defending deeper, is that an area where he would struggle? Not that it would be our problem, by the way, but is that a part of his game where actually it would not? He doesn't find success very often.
Yeah, it was something I actually mentioned heavily in the thread I made about him because obviously he's not a perfect player. I mentioned a lot of his strength being his ball striking, dribbling, and pace and power and whatnot. But he also has weaknesses. We cannot run away from that. Some of his weaknesses are just like you say. His link-up play in small areas sometimes is a bit bad. It's a bit weird because his technical ability is very, very good, but I just don't feel like he has this understanding yet of how to link up play with his back to goal. And when you can see when he plays for Chelsea, he kind of didn't really fit in because his positioning in the box might be a bit bad against low blocks. I just said, his link-up play is a bit bad. So those are like areas where he has to improve if he wants to be the complete package. But that's why I think this Everton move is good, because everything he's good at, he will get the chance to prove he's actually good at it at Everton, because you like playing the way you play. So that's why I think it's just an optimal move for both sides.
I think it's a case of that's what we have to do. I think we have to do that at the moment is kind of the problem. I think what we've had a problem obviously scoring goals last couple of years, and Calvert-Lewin is maybe decent at holding it when the ball comes into him, but he's often isolated. So that might be one, thought in Kevin Thelwall or Deitch's thoughts when they've actually got the loan in, that if he is good at making something out of nothing and he's isolated up front, then that could be a plus. I'm just going to show the bit on your thread, which was just things that he obviously is decent doing, and what we can kind of look forward to. Like you said, he's mentioned one or two of his weaknesses, but he does like to dribble. And when you have a look at the thread and the clips, he is pretty decent, isn't he, at doing that?
Yeah, he really is. I think it's crazy to have a guy who's 192 centimeters. I don't know what it equates to in inches and foot, but like a really tall guy who is that quick and that good on the ball. It's like impossible to defend against if he has his day on the field, because he's strong, tall, fast, technical. He has like every single attribute that you need to be a complete striker. So he just needs to refine his game. Not stay as raw as he currently is, and hopefully he can do that at the Finch Farm.
How would you? Because I'd imagine with Broja at Everton, you've seen a little bit of what we've got, which is a bit up and down to say the least. How would you? And try not to be too biased here, but where would you rank Broja in the strikers that we currently have? So alongside, against DCL, who else we got? Beto. We've got the young Schmitti, who obviously hasn't played very much at all. Is Broja up there with DCL? Is he behind Beto? Where are we thinking?
I think he's definitely better than Schmitti and Beto. Even though Beto actually performed quite well at Udinese, I remember. But in the Premier League, he hasn't really been all that. It would be too biased of me to say he's better than DCL, because at the end of the day, Calvert-Lewin, he's Premier League proven to a degree. He scored a lot of goals. He's quite experienced, and he's almost a veteran, you can even say, even though he's only like 27 years old. So I cannot say he's better than him. I think on ability, on potential, I think Broja should and can become a much better player than DCL in the future. At the moment, I would say DCL is maybe better, or at least like even, because they have different attributes. I just think he's a bit more experienced, a bit more proven, and that's why I would maybe rank him. But I would like to see him play both together. I think they would complement each other, to be honest.
It was funny actually that you mentioned that, because I've just pulled up what you said in the thread as well, and the fact that either replace Calvert-Lewin, or if Sean has his moment of weakness again and we go 4-4-2, then the two of them possibly together. The thing is, when we got Beto, a lot of people were crying out, Dan, weren't they, for DCL and Beto to go sort of up top together, but it didn't really pan out and work out well for us, did it? Mute Dan. Mute button, Dan.
We did. I was going to change chairs. My chair was squeaking. We did want to play the two strikers, but Beto. We did try it. Beto and Calvert-Lewin. I think they're both proper centre forwards. I think when you play the two strikers, someone's got to dip off a little bit. Maybe Broja could do that. I think he probably could, to be fair. Calvert-Lewin seems to be always the one that wants to stay right up top and in the box. So I think if you was to play the two strikers, Broja would be the person that has to probably drop in. We've also got to remember that Calvert-Lewin was massively injury prone for 2-3 seasons. We didn't think Calvert-Lewin was ever going to play football again. We was thinking as Everton fans, we've got to sell Calvert-Lewin because he's never going to play again. And Sean Dyche has managed to get... I'm up and down with Sean Dyche, but he has managed to get Calvert-Lewin fit, where a lot of other managers couldn't. So you've got to give Sean Dyche credit for that, because not many could get Calvert-Lewin fit. I honestly thought his career was over. And Mark Redian says here on the comment, an injury-prone player under Dyche is terrifying. Well, Calvert-Lewin under Lampard and under Benitez, that was terrifying. But the moment Dyche took over, he got Calvert-Lewin in good form. Now, Mark Rydon, I love these comments coming. And I say I respect it, but I do not think that these two players are in the same category whatsoever. Like, whatsoever. And you know what? You could be right. And Broja could, I mean, you say it better than me, but I just say Broja. But he could, you make him sound proper hardcore when you say it. But he could, Broja, something like that. I mean, you make him sound good. But he could come in and he could be a Mope. He could. But I honestly do believe that he's going to smash it. Because I'm used to Everton bringing the good out of strikers. We had Sahar, he was good for us. We had Yakubu, we brought out good in Yakubu. Even Beattie was okay. Andy Johnson, I thought we brought the good out of Andy Johnson. Lukaku, we brought the bomb out of him. Strikers hadn't been a problem for us, had it, Paul, for a very long time. We'd always been okay in the striker area. I think we'd always had players that just put the ball in the back of the net, striker-wise, and then Lukaku was the big one. After Lukaku, we haven't. It's just not felt good in those strikers. Like, I don't think we've had a striker that we've been. And no disrespect to Calvert-Lewin, because I do think Calvert-Lewin's got ability, and I do think he's been injured a lot. But he's nowhere near Lukaku level. No. I want a striker that's dangerous. Do you know what I mean? That's dangerous, and I think this man could be.
I was just going to say, I don't think Lukaku has recovered from leaving us either. No. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes you kind of get that fit. That's kind of when, and obviously we got Njai come, and we both love him, and lots of people do. I was talking about relationships between players. Yeah, exactly. Relationships between players and how it can click. And Lukaku had that with a few players. He had it with Deulofeu, he had it with Morales in some ways as well. I was hoping that DCL would have that kind of a relationship with Njai, but at the moment that doesn't seem to have clicked. They're not always on the same wavelength or sort of working close enough together. I was wondering if Broja, when he does come in, I think his way to success would be to have a good link with one of the other attacking players. Because at the moment, as a club, and have been as we say, for a few years, is that whoever the striker is, they're so isolated and feeding on scraps that generally it doesn't matter how good they are, because they won't have very many chances at all. And if they do get those chances, then they're surrounded by defenders, because we are not. We don't link very well in that final third. So if Broja does come in, I think he could be a success if he gets enough games, and that's a big if. But I think he would have more chance if he gets a good link with another attacking player like Njai. I think that's the winning sort of combination, really. I don't know what you think, Redian.
Yeah, I agree. I've been watching every single Everton game this season, even the cup games. I think it's for me, it's very clear to see that your best creative player is Ndiaye. So I was really hoping, and I'm looking forward to see whether Broja can form a connection with him on the field, because with his technical ability and his ability to create, and Broja being very good at running in behind and getting on the end of chances, I think it could form a very, very good duo. And I'm just hoping that's going to be the case.
No, I'm doing this show. I knew it'd get me excited, because I'm in my head with this deal. We've been linked to him that much. This player, like I say, back in the day under Lampard, 40 million, and he'd gone to other teams and not done that well. I didn't want him. I wasn't that interested. But the moment the deal will come in, and said we pay if he plays. And I thought, you know what, this is a good deal. This is a really good deal, because in my head, I'm thinking, if we signed him, I'd be scared that he gets injured. But with this deal that we've got him, that we pay if he plays, I'm thinking, well, we're only going to pay him if he plays. And I do personally think if he plays, he's a good player. Like me, I know this is a stupid comparison, but you know what I'm like. Mitrovic just gets goals, dangerous. Mitrovic. And Broja reminds me of Mitrovic a little bit. I do think that Broja is going to be dangerous. And you know where sometimes, Paul, we say, we don't give the strikers that much. I think a good striker gets stuff from nothing. We still put balls in the box. We still give Calvert-Lewin still does get a few chances, especially now we've got Njai, especially now McNeil's in the 10. And I do believe if he gets a game and he scores, Dyche should probably rate him and keep him in. And I think this could be a massive opportunity for him, because we've been saying after this international break, we want Everton to come back after this international break, because I think we've been shite. I really do. I think we just went okay before the international break, but this season has been shocking for me. And I think we need a fresh start after this international break. And if Broja comes in and he's fit and he looks like he's hungry and he just starts smashing goals in, that's going to strengthen us up massive. That will strengthen us up massive. Because if Calvert-Lewin gets injured, we've got Beto, who a lot of our fans don't rate him. I'll say it. A lot of fans don't rate him. They say he's a bit clumsy and stuff like that. So I think to have the option of Broja coming in, which you just said that he could be on, give Calvert-Lewin good competition. I'm excited, and this is the perfect opportunity for him, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I'd employ you to watch Radiant's thread. Really, there's loads of clips on there. Particularly, he had a great performance that Radiant has mentioned about Spain, and when you see the goals, actually, he tends, like you saying, Dan, DCL is very much kind of edge of the box kind of player. He doesn't tend to go and win things out wide and then dribble inwards or anything like that. He's a target man and generally will be within the 18-yard box. Broja, from clips that I've seen and obviously Radiant's post, is that he's not basically that kind of player. He tends to get the ball from wide and then tends to drive in towards the goal. Certainly that's where his goals have come from on those clips. And he will shoot from anywhere. He will have a go. He will have a go. And sometimes some of his goals, actually, because defenders and goalkeeper aren't expecting the shot. So he's got a decent whack on him. He's got a decent shot on him. We just hope that he's going to get the opportunity to use it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, do you know sometimes, Rodian, when we play other teams, it's felt like we could have loads of chances. They get one chance, their striker finishes it. It feels like when a striker plays against us, they always finish that half chance. Not even a full chance. They get a half chance and you pay for it. If we make one mistake, the ball's in the back of the net. And I think that's what a good striker does. I think if he gets just half a chance, he'll score. He'll make those defenders pay from any sort of mistake. And I don't think Calvert-Lewin always does that. He's had a couple of last few games, where his keeper saved a couple of shots, and the shots have been down the middle. I want a striker that when we get chances, boom, you think to yourself, because we don't think that Calvert-Lewin's going to score. We don't say, if he gets a chance, he's going to bury it, Calvert-Lewin, or better, if he gets a chance, he's going to bury it. I'd love Broja to come in and get a goal really early and be that guy that gets 10, 15 goals. And I know that's mad to say, because an Everton striker doesn't get 10, 15 goals. But it's an opportunity for him to get quite a few goals, I'm telling you, because Njai will set him up. McNeil in that 10 can put him through. And on the right-hand side, you'd hope Harrison gets better. I think he's been a bit poor. And you've got Lindstrom as well, looking to improve as well. So I think this could be a cracker. I really do. Do you think he can do it?
Well, I think he can, 100%. I'll back him all the way. And the only thing that remains is for him to give his 100%. If he gives his 100% and gets a consistent amount of games throughout the season, I'm 100% sure he's going to get at least 8 Premier League goals. That's like the target I've set for him. If he gets 8, then I'm satisfied, because 8 Premier League goals with his season only starting in like November, let's say, I think that's good. I think that's certainly a number to be satisfied about. I think, like you say, I hate strikers that don't finish their chances. We can talk so much about them dribbling well and linking up play and whatever. A striker needs to score. So he needs to come in and he needs to score some goals, or else people are just going to see him as this guy who's quite good, but he doesn't really finish the job. You need to score the goals. That's the only way to convince the manager and also convince the fans and get them on your side.
Very good, yeah. I was going to say, Dan, that I obviously asked the question about whether people watching think that he's going to be a good signing for us. We've got a few replies. I think we're much more positive now after finding more out about him, to be fair. Pace of movement's there, says March, finishing that's a concern. If he stays fit, then yes, he'll be a success. Sometimes it's good as well when we can drop a player so someone else can come in. It happened with Harrison being dropped for Lindstrom. As soon as Harrison got his chance back in again, he played the blindest second half when he came on for us, turned the game where we beat Palace. So Enes says yes. Pause is just saying we've got 3 or 4 games after, so we go back, and then there's another international break again, which is great for Albania, but it's not for us us Everton fans, to be honest. Especially if we come back and we're doing quite well, we don't want then for it to be an international break and lose any momentum. Some still aren't sure. Paul's still about 50-50. And I'm not surprised because we have not seen him yet.
No.
Hopefully we'll see him soon. But jury's out for most people, I'd say. But anyone watching this, keep saying, go and watch the thread and you'll get more of an idea about what he's about.
It's a cracking chance for him to come in. And us Everton fans, some people think we're harsh, but if you score goals, we'll be behind you straight away. We'll be behind. Look at Njai. Njai has come in and we treat him like the king. I honestly do believe if he comes in, we are crying out for a good striker. And if he comes in and he is that good striker, we will be behind him 110%. Do you think, how early do you think? I mean, we're coming to an end now. We'll end this, won't go too long on this one. But how long do you think it will be for his first game?
Oh, that's
a big question.
Yeah, it really is. It really is because there was so much debate about how long he was going to be out for. Some people said 1 week. Some people said 1 month. Some people said 3 months. I think he's training. He'll probably do like 2 weeks with the under-21s. I think very early November he'll be back, and I also think he'll be called up for Albania for the international break. A fun fact is when he was at Southampton, he had a bad couple of first months, and then he went to Albania on international break, scored 2 crazy goals against Hungary, and then he hit the ground running at Southampton. Maybe the same thing happens now in November with Everton in Albania.
I like your idea, Redian, rather than Mark. That'll be the game. Will also be Southampton's first win of the season. That's very Everton, to be fair. Yeah. Maybe Dyche's last. Well, we'll see, won't we? We will see.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just going to say I do think that how would you, when we talk about him now, you want him straight away, don't you? He's on the grass, and that makes you think he's going to be back sooner. But you've just said, like you said, he's going to be probably under 21s, 2 games. That's Dyche's strategy, isn't it? But Patterson's still in the under 21s, and he's had 3 games, I think. So I think he will be in the under 21s. Hopefully, we get to see him very soon. I'm excited by the player, and I think it's a good player to have in the squad. Like you say, you best not take him on that international and injure him, though. Do you know what I mean? Do you know when you said he goes on the international and he scores goals? I hope you don't play for Everton before the international game, score a brace, and then all of a sudden go to play for Albania, and you're all excited, thinking, yeah, he's playing for Albania, and then all of a sudden, boom, knee again, gone, comes back. What could have been? The brace gone. He's not in anymore. I hope that don't happen.
That would be a disaster.
Well, Njai got injured for Senegal, and loads of Everton fans had a heart attack. So he's fine, by the way.
Yeah, luckily I was scared on that as well, Paul. That did scare me.
Dan, do you want to?
Are you hardcore? I'm going to say, just so you're hardcore Everton now, ain't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
If he starts playing some games, I'm gonna come visit Goodison Park as well.
Oh, that'd be class.
Yeah, we'll have to do something. Yeah,
we'll look after you. That'd be good. Dan, I was going to say before we go, do you want to mention the competition and the fact that it's still open until next Monday?
Take it away, Paul. Go on, give it a shout out.
So
we have got a few more people in, Paul. Just the last couple. I did a space on it, and when I did I did say on the space, and I put it blunt, to be fair, and I understand it. 'Cause I wanted to do it. Sometimes I go on X to get a feel of the people out there, and because I know you speak to us in the comments and stuff, but some people are YouTube shy in the comments. I don't know why, because it's just like a space. Get involved in the comments. But I went on X and I got a feel, and I listened to what some people said, and they say, "Oh, yeah, but we feel like we shouldn't take something for free," and that's why some people said, "Oh, I don't know about entering in the competition because I don't like taking stuff for free." This is on us. This is on Toffee Blue Cash. We don't ever say that we've given you anything for free. We're just going to reveal you the winner, and you might as well enter in this competition because It's the last season of Goodison Park, right? These models, £150. The guy does them for a really good price. People sell them for more. He does them for £150, and he's got in touch with Toffee Bluecast, says he likes the channel, and he'll give us one of these models to put into a competition for a giveaway to help promote our channel. Now, what we're doing is saying, if you subscribe to Toffee Bluecast and just screenshot it to show us you're subscribed, or if you ain't got X to screenshot it, Twitter, then all you got to do is just put it in the YouTube comments after the stream finishes. Just let us know and we can find that you're subscribed. Just let us know that you want to be in the competition. You just say to me, I want to be in the competition. All I do is I write you down in the book. At the minute, there's only about 25 people in the competition. So whoever's in it has got a really good chance of winning it. And I know the 25 people, and they're all really good people. So to me, it doesn't make a difference to me because I just want to give it to someone nice. So to us, it doesn't make a difference if there is loads in. If loads of people did enter and subscribe, it helps grow our channel. So that was what we wanted to do on our end for us to benefit. So that would have been nice. It would have been nice if loads of people just said, yeah, I want to be in with a chance of winning it, subscribe and got behind the Toffee Bluecast. That would have been nice for us. But even if loads of people don't do that, I know the 25 people that are in the competition now are really good people, and I can't wait for one of them to win this model. But if you want to be in for a chance, like I say, there's only 25 and you've got a good chance of winning this model. If you want to be in for a chance of winning this model, after this stream's finished, just say, I want to be in the competition, I'm subscribed. I'll write you down in the book. On X, if you're on X now, just screenshot it and say, I'm subscribed to your channel. I'll write you in the book. It's open till Monday. We was going to close it last Monday, but then we got a few of our regulars say to us, because it's international break, some Everton fans won't see it, and some people might miss out that would really like the prize. So what we're doing is we're leaving it open till Monday, and we are going to promote it a bit more. I want everyone to see it that might like it, because you might have like your dad or your mum that really want this prize. So just put yourself in the competition, give it on for Christmas. Do you know what I mean? It could really mean something to someone, and I want it to go out to someone that really like this Goodison model.
Me.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I know Paul's dad sent it. Do you know what I mean? His dad's got it. He listens to the channel, and I know he'd love it. There's a lot of people in the Paul, and they're the models. They are incredible. The models are, and I was speaking to some people on X today, and they was talking about, I was on about excitement for the new stadium, and there was like, no, yeah, but I'm not going to get to sit next to the same people I sit next to at Goodison Park, and I just really love Goodison Park, and it's going to be so heartbreaking for me to move, so I'm not that excited about going into the new stadium. And I thought Goodison Park just means so much to people, and I just think one of these models for someone that Goodison Park means that much to us all, basically, would be really special. So it's a cracking giveaway. Paul said, "Oh, go on then. You've talked me into it." Paul's in.
Yeah.
As soon as I write you in, it's that simple. Say you're in. You're in. Could get drawn. You know what I mean? And you just get the prize sent to you. You don't have to do nothing. But yeah, I think that's it on that, Paul, isn't it?
I think it is. It is.
Talk
and
to me.
we're back. We're back Saturday. Ipswich. Fingers crossed.
Really can't bloody wait. We're going to be back. We are going to be back, and we're better than this. Everton's better than this. We've got a good team now, and Branthwaite's going to be back as well. Branthwaite, the GOAT, is going to be playing, and I've put it on X loads of times. When he plays, we're a different Everton. I mean, I've seen a video today saying Van Dijk last season, who kept the most clean sheets? Branthwaite. Who kept this? Who was better at this? Branthwaite. Who was better at this? Branthwaite. And I think that showed how good Branthwaite is, isn't it? I'm getting excited on him. He is the GOAT. You play Branthwaite, you win. It's that simple.
We got Broja, Branthwaite, everyone.
Was that the beat drop?
Was it?
Yeah.
Broja,
in the house. Oh, get Broja in. You know what? I'm believing it now. A bit of pump, and I tell you something. Broja's going to be getting braces. Branthwaite's going to be goating it in defence, and Jai is going to be. I've seen it in the comments. The Njai song. I don't know all the words yet. I will try and learn it. Do you know the Njai song, Paul?
No, I only know your Njai song. I think.
No, there's a better one. Ryan Rooney's done a proper Enjoy song on the guitar, and that's
Good one.
quite
Fair enough then.
Yeah.
Fair enough. We need
Yeah,
a
it's got a
Broja
good
song. Is what we. Radian, has he got?
Is there a Broja song?
He hasn't got a song, but I will write one myself.
Good. Let us know what it is. So
Yes. Soon as you've written that song, the moment he scores, you're coming back on the Toffee Bluecast to sing it. Like we do, we go live the night before, and every game straight after the game, we do a match reaction. So when Broja scores, you're coming on straight after when he scores, and you can celebrate with us and sing your new Broja song. Is that a good deal?
I would love it. Hey, I don't know if you can see. I got a guitar down here.
Oh yes.
Oh,
We've got a singer. What a contact! What a contact!
Gonna have a
Do
band soon.
you know when we were doing a happy half hour? That's just you're not allowed to talk about football, and it's just a happy half hour. And we're doing it every Tuesday at 9. One Tuesday on this happy half hour, we're going to set ourselves a challenge. Us three. Well, you're in now. I was going to get a busker, but us three have got to write half hour. So we've got half an hour live to work together to write a song. And if Simon Cowell hears the show, we might be big timers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
You be the singer. I've got some good lyrics. You know what I mean? I've got a good art. Paul's got some good lyrics in him as well. Paul's a bit of a singer as well. So if you want to come on the happy hour on a Tuesday at 9 o'clock, one of the times, we've got 30 minutes to make a song if you're game for that. Would you be up for that?
Yeah, we'll be a good trio. No, don't worry about it.
Yes. We'll do it, mate. We'll be like
flying
ducks. Flying ducks. We're in a triangle, flying ducks, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right, mate.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Broja now. I wish we had a game tomorrow, Paul, now. I've got all hyped up. I want Broja to play. I want a game tomorrow. I'm ready for this.
Won't be long. Won't be long.
Right. Redian, thanks for coming on. I've really enjoyed having you on. We will have you on more as guests if you're game for it. We'll have you on more. Last words. What are you going to say about Broja? What's your last words? Make it mean business.
Oh, last words. I've been saying it quite some time now on Twitter. The sun will shine on Goodison Park again.
Oh, they're good last words. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We'll leave it on that, everybody. We'll be back soon. See you later. The sun will shine on Goodison Park, and then it'll shine on Bramley Moor Dock after. I've got a few sunset pictures on that. A little bit up the top is everyone. Have a boss one.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes.